Now let us talk about the arrangement of solar cell in the panels. Okay, as we know that the cells are connected in series and parallel to get the required output voltage and current. So today we will see how and why they are connected like that. We know that each cell produces around 0.8 volt. For example, let us assume. And this 0.8 volt is not sufficient for most of the operation. So we form a panel, and that panel has combination of cells, and a panel produces around 24 to 28 volt. That is also not sufficient for many applications. So it is required to connect in series to get rated voltage, and similarly connected in parallel. Yes, connected in parallel to get higher, or you can say rated current. So to obtain the required level of the rated voltage and current, the solar cells and panels are connected in series and parallel. So let us connect two panels in series and try to find what will happen there. So we can present in terms of the equivalent circuit that we have discussed already. So the one equivalent circuit that we can have R shunt, R series, and the load. This is one cell. Another cell is there. Same circuitry. Another cell. And we know that this is shunt resistance that is very high, having very high resistance value, and this is series resistance that is of low value. And if we connect these two in series like this, then the output voltage will be this voltage. That will be the sum of this voltage and this voltage. Okay, so the voltage will be added up, but if they are connected like this, then maybe some problem as well. What problem will be there? So let us see here. If they are connected like this, and due to any reason partial shading occurs, it means any one cell between these two is not working. For example, consider this is not working and this continues working. Working means photons are not falling on the panel board, and the panel is now shaded. Due to that, the photon current is not able to generate, and if that will be not generated, then there will be no current in this. Then what will be operation, means what will be the path of the current and what will be equivalency of the circuit. Now let us consider it is not working. In that case, this cell is operating as usual. It is generating the current I photon, this current follow part of the current follow this path and another part of this follow this path, but main and major part follow this path. And once it follow this path, it has only one path here. After that, when this current reaches here, it has three alternative paths. First is through the R shunt, second is this one, third is this one. Come to this path. The resistance value is very high, so the current will not be able to pass it normally. Okay, now come to this. This is connected in anti-parallel, in reverse bias. So due to the reverse bias, it will block the current, it will not allow to pass it, the current through it. Now, as there is no operation, so there is no path to the current through this. So what we can obtain? In this condition, the current is not allowed to pass through this. So what will be there? If current is not passing through this, and out of many cells that are connected in series, if any one is shaded out, then full system will be affected. So in this way, performance will be drastically reduced. Okay. So what should be there, so that if anyone is shaded, even though due to this shading itself, it remains in working condition, full panel board, what is required to add it here? Let me choose another sketch pen. If we connect diode in this direction, then what will be there? This current will be allowed through this diode, and the current that was not having any proper path will pass through this now, and it will complete the circuit. Okay. Now if the combination is like this, even though in all of them, if the combination will be like this, then even if there is partial shading in any cell, the remaining cell will continue working through the alternate path to the current provided in that cell, that is the diode connected in the forward bias to this current. Okay, so in this way but additional diode has some disadvantage as well, because it is added. So additional component is added, and additional diode means additional component means additional cost, and if additional cost, then it is electronic component, it will reduce the efficiency as well. So there are some drawbacks as well, but now your system will not be affected if any one cell is not working due to the shading. This diode is performing two tasks. The first task is it provides alternate path to the current to complete this circuit and does not get the series combination affected. We can write diode provide alternate path to the current, and the performance of the combination does not get affected drastically in case of partial shading. Else, what will be next task done by this diode? The current that is generated, consider it is not present. If it is not present, then the current, this current that comes here, okay, even though the shunt resistance is very high, part of it, this current will flow through this because there is no path. So this current that is flowing through this will produce I square R loss, okay, and this I square R loss and this I square R loss will cause the hot spot here, and this hot spot that will be formed here will cause its effect, that is the deterioration of the life of the panel, cell and panel, and that will cause the characteristics of this system. It will change the characteristics of this cell, and slowly it will be different than others. So overall the characteristics of this cell will be deteriorated due to the hot spot formation, due to the current that don't have any alternate path during the partial shading. So this diode has an important role for that. This was the connection of solar cell connected in series. Now we will talk about the connection in parallel. Connection in parallel. Okay. Now if you talk about the parallel connection, then transform it into equivalent voltage at the load terminal, that is from cell 1 and cell 2. Both are connected in this way. We are assuming only 2 cells. And connected to the load. Okay, so this is the connection. If they are operating with equal voltage, then there will be no issue. They can add up the current, and the current rating of the panel will be increased, added up, I1 from here, I1 from here, it will be I1 plus I2, and 2I, it will be 2I, and that will be the that will match to the current rating will be increased. But it is very difficult to maintain the voltage for both of them equal, very difficult. So even though if there is slightly difference between these two voltage levels, then there will be a circulating current. Okay, so part of the current will follow this path, but part of that will circulate to come to find this closed path, and this circulating current will do no productive work, just it will produce heat loss in the form of heat, that is in internal resistances of the battery. And if the loss will be there in the form of heat, then the heat will deteriorate the life of the cell. Okay, so this issue is usual, so very common. So because the exact formation of the voltage is almost very difficult, so panels can be connected in such a way that it can protect the circulating current. Okay, equalizing the voltage is one way, but that is not so easy and possible. So what we can do, because of the condition here may be different than the condition at this, so what we can do, if we connect a diode like this, then what will be there? It will allow the current in one direction only. It will allow to pass the current in forward direction only. In reverse direction, it will protect through this diode. The current will be protected from this diode. So in this way, the circulating current will not be allowed to circulate in this loop. Okay, so in this way it becomes possible to connect the panels in the shunt in parallel form to increase the current level. Okay, so this was the connection of solar cell in series and parallel. Let us solve one example to find the maximum output power, fill factor, efficiency and optimal load to be connected. The problem is a PV cell has I naught 2 into 10 to the power minus 12 amperes, short circuit current 30 milliamperes, area of the cell is 1 centimeter square, and for this solar cell we have to find these parameters. So let us start to find all of them one by one. IV characteristics of the solar cell we have. This is the characteristics of solar cell. This is photon current. This is load terminal voltage, or we can say output voltage. This is short circuit current, that is given here 30 milliampere, and this is open circuit voltage that we don't know, but we know one relationship that relates the photon current, I naught, IL and terminal voltage, that is V, if we remember, then it was I photon minus I naught, it was e to the power, if I am right, A VL IL RS minus 1 minus I shunt is equal to IL. Yes, this was the relationship between IL, VL and I naught IPH. Consider the equivalent circuit the most basic one. This one where we are assuming no shunt parameters. So this is the photon current. This is the current flowing from here, and this is the load current. Now if we know load current, short circuit current, now we have to find the open circuit voltage. In that case, this current will be 0 in the case of open circuit, and in this relations, if we will put open circuit voltage 0, open circuit current 0, then it will be 0. It will be 0. For the finding of open circuit voltage, the photon current will be the short circuit current for the finding of this point. Okay, so it will be 30 I naught we have from here. This is the constant, and from here V open circuit voltage can be find out. So if we have 30 milliampere short circuit current, then this value can be find out by putting the values in this equation. So if we form a table in which we have V, I, then for different value of V we can find the corresponding I. If we have V is equal to, start from any point 0.5, then we can get I photon will be 29.6 milliampere. Okay, if you will put the constants in this equation, then you will find I corresponding to this V. And if you will change the value of V, then you will get another I corresponding to this, that is 29 in milliampere. If you will change the value of V corresponding, you can get the value, and so on. At 5.4 you can get 27.9, and at 0.55 you will get value 25.5 milliampere. Okay, so for different value of V you can find the value of I, or you can say, if you know this, for different value of V you can find the value of I. Okay, so, and if you know V and I, then just multiplication of these two will give you power. So in every case, just multiply this to this, you can get power. So here it will be 14.8 unit, it will be 15.1 unit, here it will be if you multiply this to this, then you will get 15.2 and 15.1, and this is the 14.5. So once you have this, either you can say 14.5 or it will be okay. Once you have this power, then you can get, it is 15.2 is maximum in this. So the maximum power point that you can have at this is, current is 28.6 somewhere here, and the voltage is 0.53. So if you will get short circuit voltage, then it may be some open circuit voltage, then it may have some another value than this. So it is 0.53. Yes, this is the point of maximum power, MPP. This is maximum power point, and this is VM. This point is VM, and this point is IM. Corresponding to maximum power point, the V is termed as VM and corresponding I is termed as IM. So we have VM is equal to 0.53 and I is equal to 28.6 milliampere, and the corresponding maximum power is 15.2 unit. Okay, so from this cell we can have these parameters. Now if we want to find the first thing, the maximum output power, then that is this. This is maybe little bit different. If you will take more precise value, then it may be quite vary, but more or less it will be near to 15.2. We find the trend, we can find it is increasing then decreasing. So this is the power point that we have. It will be somewhat like this. So this is the point that we are looking for. And the second is fill factor. Fill factor will be just the division of this area and the area that you can get from the short circuit current and open circuit voltage. The ratio of this to this is known as fill factor. So the maximum output power from there we can get 15.2. This is volt, this is milliampere, so it will give you milliwatt. And the B part, that is the fill factor, we know the fill factor, that is the ratio of this area and this area. So it will, you can get by multiplying IMVM divided by I short V open. So from here we have 0.53 and 28.6, this thing, and the open circuit voltage we can get at this value of current. Once you will put the value of IPH, this value, then you can find out this point. So if you have this point and this point, then just multiply that. So you can get 0.53 times 28.6 milli divided by I short, that is 30 milli, into V open, that you will get by putting this short value in this equation. This is also in milli, so it will be cancelled out. You will get value, this value for fill factor lies between 0.8 to 0.9. Now the third is efficiency, that we can have output power by P in. So output power, if we are operating at maximum power point, then output power will be just IM and VM, multiplication of that. P input power will be the power for that area of insulation. So insulation P, actually this is the input power that is coming to the solar cell. That is the power available in the solar insulations. So that is 1 kilowatt per meter square. We assume this, though it vary little bit, but we can assume this value. So the area that we have is 1 centimeter square. So corresponding we can get the power for that. So it will be 1 kilowatt by 100 into 100. From here we can get 0.1 watt, and Im and Vm from here we can have 15.2 milliwatt. So the efficiency that we can get 15.2 into 10 to power minus 3 divided by 1 into 10 to power minus 1. So just to get it cancelled, you can say multiply by 100 here by 3. Now you can cancel it out. Now efficiency will be around 15.2% in this case. And the optimal load, that now part D that we wish to find, the optimal load to be connected. So for load purpose we can say the output voltage divided by the current that can flow from here. So this voltage divided by this current will give you the resistive value, impedance value that you can connect for maximum output gain. So you can get part B or part D, optimal load to be connected, that can be find out 0.53 divided by 28.6 milliampere. This is volt. So if you will divide this, then you will find the value in ohm. So this will be the optimal power, optimal load that you can connect to the terminal of this solar cell to get the maximum power.